And I thought I'd show you this one only because it's an example of a situation where sometimes a seller concession where we get it in a credit to use toward closing costs or rate buy downs can be helpful not just to a first time home buyer, but even to a retired buyer. So let me give you this example. And this is one we just closed literally less than a month ago. I was approached by a retired borrower, primary residence in Orange County, looking to buy a small condo here in the Palm Springs area to use as a second, or we sometimes call a vacation home. He was planning on putting 25% down, but he was still looking for some relief on the higher rates that second home loans have, because on second home loans now, unlike about 2, 3 years ago, the rates on second home loans are at the same level as loans for rental properties. The rate's going to be higher. That didn't used to be the case. Not too many years ago, second home rates were as good as primary home rates, but that changed again by the federal agencies a couple of years ago. Now, the particular house he was looking at listed for 175, so it's a small one bedroom, one bath condo. And again, in approaching me, said he was looking at making an offer at 168,500 or $6,500 lower. So again, let's first look at what would his terms be if he had made that offer that, below list price by 6,500. What kind of payment terms would he be looking at? Well, the loan amount would have been 126,000. That's 75% of 168.5. The rate would be 6.75, again, because it's a second home, not a primary residence. A primary residence rate would have been probably 6 3/8 at the time. So its principal and interest at 6 3/4 is 817 a month. So let's look at that as kind of our baseline, what he would have gotten in terms of loan terms if he simply offered $6,500 below list and got that accepted. Well, of course, I suggested another alternative. So here's what we did. Instead, I convinced him to offer the full list price, 175, request that $6,500 concession he was going to get in price, and instead get it as a seller credit. We were then going to use, and we did use this to create or to use the credit toward a permanent rate buy down. So we first permanently bought down the note rate, and then we again layered into that a temporary buy down and still had a little bit money left over, not a whole lot, a little bit, for closing costs. So here's what happened. At the full list price, the loan amount's higher, not 126, but 131,250. But we were able to bring that note rate down to 6.125 from 6.75. The principal and interest at that note rate, 797. Now, on top of that, we layered in a 2-1 buy down. So his first year rate, 4 1/8. That brought down the first year payment to 636, $181 a month less than what he would have been paying if he simply offered 6,500 below list price. Second year rate, 5 1/8, again, $714 a month less. I'm sorry, $1,714 per month second year, $103 a month less than what his payment would have been if he simply offered 6,500 below list and then got a loan amount of 75% of that. So again, this is another example of where for a retired buyer, not a first-time home buyer looking for rate relief, a retired buyer simply buying a small vacation home here in our local market, where we are able to show how getting that seller credit in dollars would address his biggest concern. Rates are too high.